When my wife, Clara, told me about her company's annual party, I didn't think much of it at first. She had attended every year since joining the firm, and it was always a big event with clients, investors, and executives. But when I casually asked if I should pick out a suit, she froze. Then she said, almost too casually, "Oh, I don't think it's a good idea for you to come this year. It's kind of a professional thing." Her words felt strange. Clara had always been proud to show me off before, so her hesitation hit me hard. I didn't argue then. But that night, I noticed she spent hours picking out her dress, doing her nails, and rehearsing how to greet someone named Ethan. I had never heard that name before, and when I asked, she brushed it off. "He's one of our biggest investors," she said, avoiding eye contact. Something about her tone made my gut twist. The night of the party, she left in a silver dress I had never seen before. Tight, elegant, expensive. I watched her leave, a smile on her lips that wasn't meant for me. For a while, I sat in silence, my mind spinning. Then I remembered my friend Jordan, who worked in the same hotel where the event was being held. I called him and asked for a favor. An hour later, I got a message from Jordan with a few photos. My heart sank as I looked at them. Clara was sitting close to a tall man in a blue suit, Ethan. Their hands brushed across the table, and she leaned in with that familiar flirty smile I once thought was mine alone. I didn't need more proof. I knew what was going on. I didn't go to the hotel that night. Instead, I started planning. Clara's company was about to close a major deal with those same investors, and I happened to know something that could turn everything upside down. I had once helped Clara proofread confidential reports when she worked from home. That's when I noticed discrepancies. Her manager had been falsifying some numbers to impress the investors. I kept quiet back then, but now, I realized that information could change everything. The next morning, I printed copies of the real financial reports Clara had accidentally left on my laptop months ago. I sent them anonymously to the board of investors, attaching a short note. "Before you continue trusting this company, compare these with the official figures you've been given." By noon, chaos broke out. Clara came home early, her face pale and her voice trembling. "Someone leaked internal reports," she said. "The investors pulled out of the deal. They think we lied to them." I stayed calm, pretending to be surprised. She paced the room, muttering, "Ethan is furious. He said he'd never invest in us again. Everything is falling apart." I just nodded, letting her talk. Inside, I felt a cold sense of justice. She had betrayed me and humiliated me by banning me from that event, yet she was the one losing everything. Later that evening, her manager called her, shouting through the phone so loudly that I could hear every word. They blamed her for bringing Ethan too close, saying her behavior had made the company look unprofessional. She hung up and broke down crying. "It's all over," she whispered. "The company's finished, and I might be fired." I wanted to feel sorry for her, but all I could think about was how she smiled at that man last night while calling me too boring to bring along. In the following days, the story spread. The investors publicly announced their withdrawal, citing integrity concerns. Clara's company's reputation was ruined. She lost her job within a week. Meanwhile, I quietly moved out, leaving a short letter behind. "You didn't want me at your party, but you made sure everyone knew who I was in the end." A month passed before she tried to contact me. She called crying, saying she had made a mistake and wanted another chance. But I had already filed for divorce. My lawyer told me her company's scandal had left her bankrupt. She would have to start over, this time without the lies. I took no joy in her suffering, but I couldn't deny the satisfaction of justice. The same investors she had tried to impress were the ones who destroyed her false world. The same pride that kept her from inviting me had brought her downfall. Sometimes revenge doesn't need shouting or confrontation. It only needs truth, exposed at the right moment. Clara learned that too late. I walked away with my dignity intact, and she was left standing in the ruins of everything she had built, without me, without her job, and without the lies that once made her feel powerful. Everything had changed indeed. And this time, the truth was the only guest that mattered.